Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan
And Angela.
from RNA Music.
That's right.
You got a shirt.
I do.
I got my
I'm very proud of myself.
little light jacket because it's freaking freezing in Texas.
Yeah, and the dogs, of course,
dogs
are
are
going to act
outside.
up as soon as the... Yeah.
They still have to go outside to potty and do their business.
Yeah, we're here at Casa de Lale.
Yeah, we're not at RNA Music today. We're actually at home because yeah, there's an ice and snowstorm in Texas and everything's kind of shut down mostly.
Yep.
So, but it's time for Ask RNA.
Yay!
We're still going to do that. Luckily, we have power at our house, so
Yes,
we're going
we do.
to film as quick as we can, Ask RNA, and try to upload it,
Fast
see what
questions.
happens. Dogs.
Like, the whole house was rattling. What was that?
It's the neighbor in his diesel truck.
Oh, okay. Big trucks. Boys around
Big
here.
trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Let's do this.
let's do this. All right. Stupid dogs.
You're going to have to put them in their kennels.
They were in their kennels and they were crying in their kennels. Stupid dogs. All right, y'all, welcome back.
Yes.
All right, we have a little mom and pop guitar shop and music lesson studio deep in the heart of Texas. That is a frozen wasteland now. And anyways,
It's not that bad.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's not as bad here as it is most places.
Yeah, it's worse in some places. But anyways, we're going to answer y'all's questions up in here right quick in a hurry. If you want some swaggity swag, like Angela's t-shirt, description down below. If you want to go buy a t-shirt, that'd be great because our store was closed this entire week. I've gone to the shop to check on it, make sure there were no water pipes busted, but
Right.
we've been closed the entire week.
Yes.
So if you want to buy some swaggity swag, now's the time. Appreciate it. All right, let's get to the questions.
Awesome.
First question, Mr. LD. Are y'all staying warm in this Texas winter storm? We got 8 inches of snow so far over here in Groesbeck, and there's more coming tonight. Yeah, that was probably Wednesday, I think, when he asked this question. It's Friday.
Yeah.
It is actually right now on Friday, it's 32 degrees, which is the warmest it's been all week.
All week long.
So we're on the cusp of thawing out, but we are staying warm, Mr. LD.
Yes.
We were very lucky that our power really only went out for
real
a split
blessed,
second.
for sure.
And I was able, our pipes started to freeze up the day that it got to, -1 degrees. But I was able to catch it in time and get a heater blowing on some of the pipes and heat lamps on our hot water heater. And so we luckily have not had any busted pipes, thankfully.
Yeah.
And we have been able to stay warm. We've kept our thermostat pretty low, though, because the power companies, ERCOT, which is the people who facilitate the power structure in
grid,
Texas,
yeah.
the grid, maintain the grid. We're like, hey, everybody turn your heat down to like 68 degrees. That'd be great. Kind of conserve power. So we have kept our heat, in the mid 60s. So to not just have it blazing all day, burning up electricity.
Right.
But 65 degrees is a lot warmer than 0.
That's the
So
truth. I will take
we've-
that any day.
And I have gone for walks. I have, I'm walking like every day.
Yeah.
And if you put on enough layers
And cover your face.
to cover your face, like 2 ski masks
Yeah.
and a Lolly's Loops beanie
Yeah.
and 4 thermal shirts and 3 sweatpants and jeans and stuff.
Because we don't have snowsuits. Like, they never sell stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have like stuff like Sherpa-y type woolly material sweatshirts or
There's coat. You can
kind
buy
of
a winter
heavy
coat,
coats.
but not like
Nothing that covers up your whole body.
Yeah.
That insulates it for negative degree weather. Like, they're not built for
stuff's not
negative
rated for
degree.
0 degrees and -5 degrees
Right.
here.
Like, they don't sell that anywhere unless you go skiing
Order it
and you go
online.
to or order it online, which that's not Texas.
People
people do
don't
that,
go skiing in Texas.
but it's not a commonplace. So what we do is we layer. That's been like the running joke of people, like Texans don't know, we don't own any winter clothes, but we own a lot of sweatshirts, so we just double and triple up the sweatshirts and the beanies and the hats.
Got
and
a lot
the
of
gloves
hoodies.
and
Yeah.
even like our gloves are just like almost decoration. They're
Yeah.
not really like real true winter gloves.
Yeah, I had to go buy some hunting gloves because like people who hunt,
Yeah,
you know,
they'll go out there.
will go out in freezing temperatures and sit in a tree with a rifle
Right.
for hours waiting for a deer to come by. But you know, so a lot of the hunting gear, if you can find it at Walmart or wherever,
Right.
sometimes will be pretty warm.
Right. But
Yeah, thankfully we're
We're
staying
good.
warm, Mr.
Yeah.
LD, and I think tomorrow, which will be Saturday, I'll probably open the shop. You know, we're normally there noon to 4 on Saturdays, and tomorrow it's going to be in the 40s. So I think a big chunk of tomorrow will probably be above freezing. So
yeah, we might try to get a couple of lessons made up if they're willing to venture out.
Yeah.
You know, especially the local people, if they're
Yeah.
local and want to come out.
if they're in town, but you know,
But
still
a lot of our rural people, that's a hard word.
Roo,
to say.
roo.
Our country folk.
Yeah.
It's still pretty icy out
Yeah.
there and dangerous because sometimes it just drops off into ditches on either side, and you
Yeah.
just don't want to be doing that.
Well, and the problem too is like we had a lot of snow too. I mean, our backyard was like 8 inches of snow. Whatever kind of melts, if it gets warm enough to actually melt, there's a lot of it, and it'll melt down. But if it still gets below freezing at night, it will refreeze, and in the morning the roads will be iced again.
Yeah.
So it'll take.
And we don't have ice trucks and
snow plows.
and snow plows here.
So it'll take a couple of days of it to being above freezing for the roads to be really safe everywhere. So thanks for the question, Mr. LD. Appreciate it. Next question.
Yeah.
Hashtag. It's Jeffrey Egan. Starts off with hashtag Florida Man.
That's right.
You know, I had to look up Ohio's state song. It's "Beautiful Ohio" by The Way.
Yeah.
Can't say I've heard of it or I just don't know it. However, the unofficial state song is Hang on Sloopy. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks it's the official state song. At least we treat it that way. So,
That's hilarious.
yeah. Beautiful Ohio is the state song of Ohio. We talked about the state song of Texas last week. Go check that out. It says, so what would Ryan's official song be? I'm guessing something by Metallica. And what would Angela's official song be? Hashtag K-Teammate. All right.
Right.
Angela, your official song, the state song of Angela.
The state song of Angela, I think I've said this before, it would be probably Aretha Franklin's Respect.
I think someone asked something similar, like, hey, what would be your wrestling entrance music?
Yeah.
You know, if you were coming on to do a wrestling match, right?
Yeah.
I knew that. I expected that to be
Yeah.
that.
Because there's not really any other song that just like, bam, punches you in the face like a little Aretha Franklin and some R-E-S-P-C-T.
Yeah.
You know, find out what it means
Yeah.
to me.
And on a similar note, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that this morning as I was typing out that question. I was like, I don't know. Mine probably changes from day to day, but right now in this season, I would probably say Walk by Pantera. Because first of all, I'm walking everywhere.
Right.
Like every day, 10,000 steps, 15,000 steps, 20,000 steps a couple times. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Boo, 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 look at us
But
so much.
I laugh because there's a whole point. He's like, respect. This is the whole respect thing in that. I'm like, it's like you're Aretha Franklin, I'm Pantera. Very similar in a lot of ways.
So similar.
So right now it'd be Walk by Pantera, which feels accurate.
Feels about right.
Feels right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Those complement each other.
They
so.
really do.
All right, and next question. Thank you, Jeffrey. Next question. Terry Starks, hashtag Florida Man. Ryan, I haven't heard much about Acacia guitars. How are the Cali guys doing? All right.
Back to Cali.
Going back to Cali. All right. Now, somebody actually asked that a month or two ago.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Right
the-
before Christmas.
Yeah, and back in December somewhere, someone asked about that. So nothing's really changed to my answer back then. But if you haven't heard, if you didn't see that episode, well, they're actually pretty busy. Acacia Guitars in California. They recently just moved their workshop. If you watch the video, go back where we had one of our amazing customers ordered a custom Cronus,
Yeah.
and I flew out to Escondido,
Yes.
California.
He did.
San Diego, and then drove to Escondido.
Yes, I love giving him a hard time about that.
She really does.
I
You can come next time.
will.
We'll both go to watch Scott build guitars. You'll
No,
love it.
I have friends out there, and they were like, "I can't believe you were there, and I only live 30 minutes away." I was like, "I'll go stay with them, and you can do your thing."
You don't want to be with me in California?
Not sitting in
Then
by myself
you
listening to guitar stuff. No,
You could be at home and be more comfortable.
no. How is that the same thing?
I thought you wanted to be with me on a trip.
Yeah.
That's just all I...
Not sitting
to
and
look at
doing
guitars.
guitars. No.
But they're doing well. If you go back and look at that video, you'll see their workshop. You can kind of see it in my video. Was not very big. Mm-hmm. And they've grown so much since that time that now they've actually rented a bigger like warehouse space and have got more equipment, and they're setting it up. They don't have any videos about that, I don't think. Or maybe they might have some
Maybe
pictures.
It's time for you to go out there and do it now.
I know. We should go back to California
catch yourself
and do a
before you break
video
yourself.
at the new Acacia workshop,
Yes.
which they're growing, expanding. So
Yeah.
they've probably just been so busy that they haven't been real big on the social media side. Because, you know, I guess there's a point where it's like, you're already so busy making guitars and things. It's like, if we did more advertising, I mean, what if you got... I mean, if you're already backed up on orders, it's kind of like CMG,
Right?
Chris Mitchell guitars. They don't. It's already like a 5-month wait to get a guitar built. I mean, if all of a sudden they got 500 guitar orders, they're like, okay, great. Well, it's going to be next year because you know they can only build so many.
Yeah.
So they might not be. They do post on their Instagram. If you go follow CMG on Instagram, you'll see them. CMG. Sorry, my bad. CMG doesn't have an Instagram. I can't even tag them on my Instagram post. Acacia Guitars and Basses absolutely has an Instagram page that you can go check out new guitars they built and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they've been pretty busy, and of course moving shop and getting new equipment set up and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So they're still trucking right along.
Trucking right along.
Trucking right along.
Singing the song.
Yeah. So they're doing well. Thumbs up if you want to see us fly to California on the corporate
Going
Acacia
back
jet.
to Cali.
The Acacia corporate jet, you know, hang out, film some at the workshop. Let us know. But yeah, they're still pretty busy, and they are cranking right along.
Right.
Thanks for the question, Terry. Next question, because we don't have a music stand in front of us, I'll just put that on the ground, is Big John. Hashtag Big John. Hashtag Florida Man,
Yeah,
speaking of.
see.
See, I can't read that off the floor. It says, Ryan, I haven't heard... Oh, that was Terry. Big John, hashtag Florida Man, who is in Florida. Ryan, why are you afraid of sharks? Is it because they have all those teeth and no toothbrush? LOL. And Angela, do you have any critter phobias? Oh, yes, she does. All right. Why am I afraid of sharks, Big John? Well, it's because I watched Jaws when I was very young.
Because they're death-eating machines.
Yeah, because they are killers. And if you get in the ocean, your likelihood of being eaten or maimed is extremely high.
The maimed part is kind of messed up.
Yeah, people are like,
but I would not want to
I know,
actually eaten.
Someone was telling me that
stuff.
humans are rarely attacked by sharks. Like, not more people are killed by cows than...
Right.
I'm like, than sharks. I'm like, but how many humans are maimed by sharks? They don't have to kill you. They could just take your leg off or your arm.
Or a piece of your torso.
Or, yeah, I mean, and people always say that. I'm like, listen, I know a guy. My friends from high school, his wife was attacked by a shark in the Bahamas and almost died. And she was in a group of people. They were all scuba diving, snorkeling together, whatever. Came and got her. Almost killed her.
Yeah.
So don't give me that crap about, oh, it never happens. Like, I know someone personally who was almost killed by a shark.
And that's enough for him.
How many degrees of separation do they call it? 9 degrees of separation? Yeah. It absolutely happens. So that's why, Big John, I was like, I don't know how old I was, like 5.
Oh, God. Why would
something.
you watch that at 5?
I don't know.
Parents are horrible.
I was very young. And
I watched Jaws at like 13.
it left an impression. I think it was
That
on
was
TV.
enough for me.
I think it was on TV, and I was still like...
The commercials were enough for me as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember the commercials as a kid and the sound of the dun-dun sound.
I think it's a completely practical thing to be afraid of sharks. Like,
Yeah.
you should be.
Yeah.
Kind of like tornadoes and
You know,
lightning.
remember that shark cartoon that went with the Pink Panther series?
People
You know?
really make fun of you for like, hey, there's a lightning storm outside. You should go in your house. I'm like, no, I'm going to go play outside in an open field during a lightning storm. Well, that's stupid. I'm like, Yeah, I'm going to go swim in the ocean with things that will literally eat you. Why is being afraid of lightning reasonable and being afraid of sharks unreasonable? It makes no sense.
Right.
Reasonable fears. Speaking of reasonable fears, Angela, what is your critter phobia?
Oh gosh. Basically spiders. Any kind, any size, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It could be like this little bitty one coming from, no. No, spiders and alligators.
What's the real one?
What?
Every time we go on a walk and you freak out, it's buzzards. You never scream or jump when there's a spider. But when we go for walks down by Buzzard Creek, where there's flocks of buzzards,
Because there's flocks of them.
they freak you out.
They seriously really do.
Yeah.
Because they're so menacing. And the fact that they eat flesh.
They only eat dead flesh.
It doesn't matter. They do. They eat it.
They don't eat live. They don't attack live people.
But if they knew
Sharks
if they knew they could
attack live people.
But if they knew they could, they would.
But they don't. They're done.
But they can actually tear flesh apart with their talons and their beaks, and that's just scary. And the fact that it's not just like one or two. There are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being silly. There will be probably 50 to 100 buzzards in the trees, and when they
just
take
all
off,
waiting like
their wingspan is at least 5 to 6 feet, and they will just flap, and they have this sound, and it's just.
I'm not normally scared of buzzards.
I literally had chills go down from the top of my head to the
you
soles
talk
of my
about
feet.
spiders and alligators. I'm like,
Alligators scare me just as bad. I'm just so thankful that we don't see them.
Yeah.
But we can. That's the point. Is that alligators would walk up from a creek and just be in your yard if you live close enough to a body of water. Like anytime we would go shooting at our friend Grant's house, and it's right there beside a small creek. It's like a little pond that's right there. All I'm thinking about the whole time is that I might fire and then look down there, be an alligator, and I'd have to defend myself. So I'm always on guard when I'm over there because it's
we
so
have to
scary.
clarify small creek. They're thinking, how can it, like, a small creek in Texas is a creek that an alligator could hide in. That's what we consider small.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could be submerged and you wouldn't see them.
You would never
That's
see
a
them
small creek.
until it's too late.
Not a large creek.
No.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of buzzards other than I was walking our normal little route one night, and it was like 10:30 at night because I didn't have time to walk or exercise earlier. It was super dark. I'm like, whatever. I think I had my headphones in, but I wasn't listening to music because I wanted to be able to kind of like, if the car came or something, but it was super dark. All of a sudden I heard the, and I'm like, oh crap. And I couldn't see him. So the sound of it startled me. I was like, what was that? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh.
I know.
Oh, it's the freaking buzzards. They're out here at night sitting in the trees.
Yeah. If I've gone by myself and I just don't look up, I'm fine. But as soon as I look up or I see in the distance that they're, because they'll like congregate on the ground or they'll be on a fence line. They'll be on people's roofs, and like it's just like sit there and pray, and I'll cry on the inside, just like please God protect me. And I'll like, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Yeah, but luckily you have me with you to scare them off. To chase them away.
Yes, I have the video on my phone, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, that's going in the video, so share that with me.
Oh my gosh.
Completely reasonable picture.
Because I'm sitting there looking at them, because they're on the fence line in this video, and unbeknownst to me, he decides to charge them. And
shoot them.
And they all start just taking off. So the sound of and they go over my head, and I can't look because I know they're close, and I just feel like one's going to be, I turn around and it's going to be hovering behind me, just staring at me in the face. With like
they're scared of me.
Death beak and
5-finger death beak.
Okay, they're back.
Back again.
They're all on the fence line. It's like going to the zoo. You see this one on the end? That is wings for opening it.
I'm scaring him away.
Do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh.
I saved you.
Oh. I can't. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I saved you.
Yeah.
You guys tell us,
guys.
do y'all have critter phobias? Below, tell us, what is the animal you're afraid of? Or at least cautious around. So, it's the question, Big John.
Me cry.
See, Angela does not thank you for the question, Big John. She's mad at you now. Next question. I'm going to combine these next two questions. Dactar says, hashtag Florida man. TT is punk. I think he means triple threat is punk.
Mm-hmm.
And Just Fun Guitar says, watch out for those punks. They're everywhere. New question. What inspired Triple Threat by the mighty Awkward Pauze? Right. So if you watched last week's episode, you'll know that my friend, the Bitter Bass Man, and I released a single. Link down description. Go buy it. Mm-hmm. Amazon Music, whatever. All that.
Right.
iTunes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we released a single under the duo Awkward Pauze is the name of the band. Mm-hmm. And the name of the song is Triple Threat. Uh-huh. And, I think we called it punk, right? So Dactar was like, is that punk? And, of course, Just Fun Guitar wants to know what inspired it. Well, it's pop punk, Dactar.
It's more pop than punk.
It's pop punk, yeah. It's poppy punk. Mm-hmm. Bubblegum punk.
It's punk because it's angsty lyrics.
Yeah.
A huge thing of snow just fell from the tree out there. That's crazy.
And bitter lyrics staring into the abyss of your emotions.
Very bitter lyrics-ish-y, but because of the singer and the style, how bouncy it is, it's very pop. Yeah,
like Blink 182 is punk. It's not. It's but people consider them pop punk.
Yeah, they're very pop.
Yeah, super pop punk.
I never thought of Blink 182 as a punk band.
They're not like a real punk band.
Okay.
But they are pop punk. Mm-hmm. Like Bowling for Soup is pop punk and Green Day is pop punk.
Oh gosh, I would never think of Bowling for Soup. I think it's because their voices.
Yeah, but that's why it's pop punk and not punk.
Right.
They're not like the Sex Pistols or something.
Right.
Not like real serious punk.
Yeah.
It's pop punk. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely, we consider it, or I consider it pop punk anyways, Dactar.
I'm gonna get Paul a shirt that's like this, the logo for Pop Rocks.
You're gonna get him a shirt?
Yeah, I'm gonna make him a shirt, and it's gonna say, like the logo for Pop Rocks, but it's gonna say Pop Punk instead of Pop Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be good.
And it's gonna be like bubble gum colors, like pink and purples and stuff.
That would be accurate. That would be accurate. And Just Fun Guitar wants to know what inspired it. I don't know what inspired the lyrics, other than Paul's emptiness.
The depths of his soul.
The depths of his emptiness.
What does the Grinch say? Loathing.
Stare into the abyss.
Well, what am I going to wear?
As far as the music, here's a breakdown of how the music goes. Usually Paul will write a bass line of some kind. Mm-hmm. And then he'll like, hey, check out this bass line. I'm like, oh, cool. Do you want some guitar to go with that? Because you're playing all the notes, Paul. There's really he's playing guitar riffs on the bass. And it's like, well, if I played the same riff on guitar, mm-hmm. It's whatever it is.
You build from that.
Yeah. But he'll write a bass line. It's kind of the reverse of how most people write. Most people will write a guitar or piano part.
Right.
And then, do drums and bass to that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of different in the fact that he comes up with these bass lines.
Right.
That are usually very melodic and moving. He hates just playing steady 8 notes because it's boring, of course. Unless it's what the song needs, and then it's great. But why would you do that when you could play all the notes? So he'll have very moving, melodic bass lines, and then I'm trying to come in and put some type of chord structure, that complements that. So that's generally how music works. I can't even remember how he came up with the bass line to that specific song. It's been like 15 years. Yeah. It's been forever ago.
Because he has a lot of stuff that he has in his head and that he's kind of written.
And music, too.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So, I got that.
And bass lines.
I got you. That was, I was slow. Well, so there you go.
So yeah.
We spend forever on the depths of the soul that is the bitter bassman, but we don't have time for that. Okay.
Yeah. And I want to be happy.
Yes, and we want to have a good day.
Yeah. The sun is shining finally. There's actually sun shining outside.
It's a good day.
If you walk outside, you will be snowblind. You have to wear sunglasses.
That's
when
where
you're
most
walking.
of this light is coming from. It's
the
our
reflection.
porch.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, and then final question that popped up this morning, literally right before as I was typing these out. Bubba Fang,
good under the wire.
back in the saddle. Good to know that you're back, Bubba Fang. Right under the wire. You almost didn't get this in. He said, question, does your music preference show what kind of person you are? Was asked this the other day, and all I could answer was music to me is a mood thing. Any thoughts on this? Hashtag Florida Man, KT May, hashtag We're All Legends. God bless, love y'all. Take care. No pricks in our world. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. All right. Does your music preference tell people what kind of person you are?
I think in general, if you want to paint a broad stroke for some people, if you can look at all of the music that they've ever listened to from the time they were young until the time I think it paints a picture of who they are and what they were exposed to, what their parents were exposed to. So it can kind of tell you a little bit about their world and their journey. But yeah, I also agree that for me, it depends on the mood. Like if I'm cleaning, I'll throw on some like 1960s, 70s music that is from my childhood because it reminds me of my parents. Because whenever we would clean as kids, my dad would put on some Al Green and we would just dance around the house and mom would pop open the windows and I could smell the lemon pledge and and just that feeling. So it puts me in the mood to finish cleaning when I have really good music on, or whenever I'm just like in the middle of working or doing whatever around the house, I put on like really lively music. In the mornings whenever I wake up, I want it to be quiet, so I put on some slow worship or whatever. So it does depend on the moods, but that's only because I think in my life, that's what sculpted how I transition myself. Or when I go running, like I'll put on some Rage Against the Machine and I'll be like, just like if I take off running, I'll be putting on something that'll help me track on and just be like, ah! So it does matter. Mood and general, it tells a lot about you. Because I don't think a lot of people would think that I would pick Rage Against the Machine to run to. But
you don't still sit on the couch listening to it.
No.
It fulfills a specific purpose.
Yes. But like the other day when my sisters were over, Amanda's in the other room, but whenever we were all together, we started talking about music and we were like, oh, remember that song? Remember Moulin Rouge? Remember whenever the Christina Aguilera sang the Marmalade? Like we were going through this whole nostalgic thing and it just kind of put us in a fun mood of the early 90s, late 90s kind of singing and stuff. And then we listened to Pink and we listened to all this stuff. So, but it was the mood that we were in. It's not like we listened to it daily. We're like, oh man, I forgot about this song. I haven't listened to it in ages, So how are you with music when it comes to like that? 'Cause I know like you don't sit and really just listen to music either anymore.
Oh, I don't just sit and listen to it.
Right.
But I do listen to it a lot. Like when I'm
playing
walking,
in the background.
When I'm walking.
When you're working at work too.
But he's saying, what kind of person are you? I kind of see that as more like, oh, well, if you listen to metal, then you're kind of a stereotypical person who's into, oh, you're a Pantera fan? Oh, you probably
are blah, blah, blah.
Are an alcoholic and smoke weed and are,
I don't see that anymore. Kind of I think before it could have been very stereotypical, but now it's just not.
That's kind of what I took from that question is like, oh, you're the kind of person who listens to bro country. Describe your typical Avenged Sevenfold fan, or Florida Georgia Line. Like,
right.
Oh, you wear bedazzled jeans and Affliction shirts and like you probably
I probably will not be friends with you.
that kind of thing. Like, oh, you can judge a person by the music they listen to, kind of a thing. And I don't really see it that way. I feel like that was maybe the way the question was presented to Bubba Fang, perhaps, but I don't really see that because like I totally grew up as a teenager as like a metalhead. Like I'm still like the metal, that's what I like. But I think if everybody who sort of knows me in everyday life, going to the grocery store or whatever, they always say, Well, maybe the beard doesn't help, but
Right now it doesn't help.
they probably think that guy probably likes to hunt ducks.
Yeah.
I bet he listens to Florida Georgia Line.
I'm sure right now they probably think he must love him some ZZ Top.
Yeah. That guy likes some ZZ Top.
Well, he is a Texan.
I bet
so,
you. I bet you.
With the beard. That doesn't
What?
help. And you have a beanie on. It's like you're not helping yourself. You got the ZZ going. Yes. Got the ZZ look. Just like, see? You're sharp dressed man.
Yeah, I don't.
Which was the theme to Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty listens to ZZ Top.
Even
That's
though
what
they're
they do.
Louisianans.
Yeah, that's all right. Louisiana's real close to Texas.
Louisiana. Especially
Right up,
Monroe.
right up against it.
Right up against.
Right up next to us.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Louisiana.
Louisiana people are all right. They're more okay than Oklahoma people.
Yeah.
But I don't really think of it that way because I listen to all kinds of music, but I don't think I would maybe act the stereotypical person who listens to whatever. I'm not a big country guy. I like some classic country stuff, and I've taught enough of it to kiddos and students, and I've even taught some bro country to a few kids, and I'm like, as much as I think Blake Shelton is terrible, that's a really catchy song. I tell you what, man, they know how to write
around here.
Boys around here. I'm like, it's like he wrote a parody song making fun of country music, but it's actually a country hit song. Right. No, well, but it's actually a big hit. So, but I every now and then I'll even enjoy something like that. That's kind of like, what is this? People like this. Oh, dang it. It is kind of stuck in my head now. Son of a gun. They know what they're doing. They know how to write the catchy stuff. They know how to write the hooks.
Yep.
But I don't, you can meet people who, like I know some people who are like Texas country people. Like that's what they do. Like they write their own country songs and they play in gigs and stuff. And like, but when I talk to them face to face, having conversations, I don't really think, well, I know what he's all about.
Right.
I'm like, I know he plays country music, but
that
you can't encapsulate a person's whole identity in the kind of music they like to listen to.
Yeah.
Or I don't think you can even really stereotype it anymore. That's how I feel. Am I right?
I think you're right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I get the mood part of music more than I get it being that's just who they are. Or it's just like a general sweep across a person's life. I think music molds people in whatever season that they're in, where you have some guy that, yes, they grew up on old country, or they grew up on heavy metal, or they grew up on classical music, but sometimes in their seasons in their life and the people that they meet, they might be introduced to other things and spark a fire, that it just leads them to like other things or be like, oh wow, I've never heard of that kind of stuff. I've never heard that before. So yeah, that's what's so great about music. It's, I listened to country music growing up. My dad loves country music. He loves him some Charlie Pride, some Don Williams, some George Strait. He loves that. So I was exposed to it, not all the time, because my dad also listened to, the Winans, and he listened to the Williams Brothers, and he listened to Al Green, and we listened to a lot of different things. So we were exposed to it, which when we were also exposed to gospel music, and with my mom, we were exposed to Herman's Hermits, and the Letterman and Led Zeppelin, and like different things like that. So we had a pretty broad base of music and appreciation of music and classical music and just stuff like that. So I wouldn't judge a book ever by its cover, because we've had guys come in and they look all kinds of country and they love heavy metal. We have guys coming in with heavy metal and they're like, have you played this Clapton song? I'm like,
what?
Sure. I've never played it, but wow, I never thought in a million years that you was like, or you're really into Bob Marley or, whatever. It's just so funny being in the music industry, how different people are and what they like. And again, you can't judge a book by its cover.
I think it's definitely more of a mood thing for sure. Yeah. Cause there's times where I like to listen to hip hop stuff. Mm-hmm. Not as much as I like heavy metal. Right. But
because
there are
it's
moments,
fun.
Yeah.
It makes you laugh.
Yeah. I watched a real interesting video the other day talking about the death of rock. And what really killed rock and roll is that it came to a point where like it wasn't really fun anymore. Like it used to be a thing like you would play rock music at parties. Like think about Elvis. They even started like the 50s, 60s, 70s up to like rock music was like party music basically. You know, music that you would play in the background as you're having a good time, you know, going on a roller coaster or at a baseball game or something. And then all of a sudden, at some point, I guess in the 90s, it became like way too serious. People took themselves way too serious. And, you know, like Van Halen is like, that's party music.
Yeah.
That's party rock, you know. And then it became very bitter bass man music. Low, self-loathing. Like in the darkness.
The emos came in.
Yeah, and then that's what they were saying. This is one of the reasons why rock isn't really as big on the scene for the general population. If you're a rock fan, obviously you're obsessed with rock, but the general population as a whole isn't aware of what's going on in rock radio and stuff like because it's not fun anymore.
Right.
It ceased to be fun.
It's not loving an elevator.
It is not. Talk about fun.
Yeah, all Aerosmith songs were fun.
It's all party songs.
That's all I think about.
And I don't want to say goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
It's all party songs and goodbye songs.
Yes. When you have songs that you are willing to play.
That's why the general population likes Nickelback. But like hard rock fans are like, Nickelback sucks.
I'm like, dude, there's like our childhood brought back.
Because they write songs that people are like, oh yeah, this song.
That's like Rod Stewart and you know. And some Meatloaf.
Gotta bring back the party rock. What's funny is that the song I'm working on right now, like it was one of my songs I've been working on, and I've been during the snowpocalypse. Stuck here at the house, I'm like, well, let me see if I can kind of tweak this and work on it. You know, my working title is work because people have working titles for their songs. It's Too Happy to Be Heavy.
Okay.
That's
a long title.
It's a working title.
Okay.
It's not the actual title of the song, but you know, people they'll write music, but they don't have lyrics yet.
Right.
We got to call it something.
Right.
That's what I called it because like I like heavy music
I know.
and aggressive stuff, and I'm like, when I wrote this, I was like, it's heavy and it's rock and there's distortion.
Yeah, it has a heaviness to
energy
it because
to
there's like a low resonating.
But it's kind of like major. But it's kind of like a major. It's almost a major key kind of rock thing. I was like, this is too happy to be heavy.
It's a pop song.
It is. Thanks. But it reminded me of like this. It kind of when I wrote it, it sort of reminded me of like this is kind of not Van Halen-ish. Like I'm certainly no Van Halen, but it's kind of like the mood, emotion.
I still think it has a very Metallica vibe to it.
Yeah, it's like happy Metallica.
Well, a lot of Metallica's songs, even though it had a very heavy driven undertone to it, there's a few of them that had that real kind of.
There's an up energy.
There's an up. There you go. Not like happiness, but it had like a catch to it that made you feel like you're not listening to suicidal music.
Yeah.
You know.
Like what was the thing to their I Disappear?
Yeah.
It was off of their the Mission Impossible thing. Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff. But I just thought it was funny because it's like, well, that's kind of a major kind of vibe to it, but it's still heavy. But I just thought that was weird. It's like maybe we're gonna bring the happiness back.
See how I noticed that?
I do see that. Alrighty, so I have a feeling the stuff that I'm going to write and put out is going to be not as bitter.
Yeah.
Heavy, but
I don't think the lyrics are going to be as bitter.
Oh, no. They're going to be songs about our cat.
Very
sing about the dogs.
It's going to be very driving. I think that's why.
Driving. It's driving music.
It's driving music.
Yeah. There we go.
Like road trip driving music. Yeah.
100%. I got to work on that. So that's what I think, Bubba Thing. You guys tell us down below, what do you think about Bubba Thing's question about people and music? And I think we probably all are going to come up with a similar answer, but I agree with Bubba Thing pretty much. So that was a great question. That was a great conversation starter. Appreciate that. And that is the final question. We don't have a comment of the day.
We don't.
Because I forgot to look for one. Because it's been a crazy week.
Comment of the day. Not today.
Not today. That just means one of them didn't jump out at me aggressively enough to be like, I should be comment of the day. Sorry. Maybe there will be a comment of the day next week.
Yeah.
When it'll be 60 degrees in Texas. We're gonna
And
go
we'll be
from
happier.
We're gonna go from -2 degrees to 60 degrees.
Because that's
in a
how
week.
Texas rolls.
That's how Texas rolls.
Texas likes to punch things in the face.
Yeah. I would love to see my northern friends in Maine do like 110 degrees for 37 days straight. I would not love to see that. I would not wish that.
I wouldn't
on
wish
any,
it on anybody.
On anybody, but it's
Especially
crazy.
when you're not used to it.
Yeah.
That's what the thing is. When you're not used to it, it's a mess. It's
Yeah.
a big old messy mess.
If you've never had tornadoes, ever, and then all of a sudden you have
Be
a whole
thankful.
season of tornadoes, you're like, what?
Be
is going-
thankful.
What do we do? What do we do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you've never experienced a tornado, be very happy that you've never experienced a tornado. That's all you got. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
If you've never experienced a national fire, be thankful you've never experienced a national
Yes.
fire.
Oh my gosh.
That's what was
Wish
cracking
that-
me up. Someone said that we must be paying for who we voted for us to be frozen. I was like, well, what did California pay for them to be on fire?
Yeah,
for all those
California's been on
months?
fire for like
months.
years.
So
Years.
like this was just a week of snow and ice.
Yeah.
But
Joe Biden has control of the weather dominator.
Yes, he does.
The weather dominator.
When did Joe Biden become the villain from Phineas and Ferb? Weather dominator or raider?
I'm just saying.
No, it's just life. And the longer you live it, the more you experience its swing arounds. That's all it is.
My thought, real quick, not to go political, but my thoughts on the election was we had 3 choices. We had Cobra Commander, Serpentor, and Lady J. And we got Cobra Commander. And so, Weather Dominator. What are you going to say? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your questions and comment below. Ask a question for next week. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts on the questions that we answered today. I love to read those and see those. And thank you guys so much for the concern. We've got messages, comments, emails, wishing, checking on us, make sure we're fine. So we really appreciate that. That's tremendous, you guys. And yeah, go follow us on Instagram. You'll see me walking around the snow on RNA's Instagram page. And yeah, stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive and thawed out for the next generation.
Free of buzzards.
Free. Buzzard free. I'm going to write a song about buzzards.
It won't be my favorite.
You.
Unless,
or shark.
unless it's hunting them.
No, it'd be like
against the law to hunt buzzards.
Is
You
it?
can't- Yeah.
Only if they catch you.
The only time it's okay, apparently, to shoot a buzzard or shoot at a buzzard is if
When there are no cops around.
Stop.
And not that many game wardens.
Stop. So whenever, like, if there's a calf that's been on the ground and
it's still alive.
it's still alive, but because of all the blood and afterbirth, they get called, because they smell it in
They're
the
like,
air.
it's
See,
about to
that's
die.
why I said they will eat you if they think.
If you're a newborn calf.
If you're covered in something that's similar to...
If you've been shoved inside of a tauntaun to keep you warm, and when you pull out, they pull you out of the tauntaun.
They'll be like... Bah!
And you're covered in tauntaun guts.
Yes.
Then the buzzards might come
They
at you.
will come at you.
No lightsabers will save you. But a shotgun will.
That's the only time.
I just happen to
game
have.
warden told me.
I just happen to have tons of baby calves laying around in the yard that are covered in.
They're gone now. We have people.
And
come
so
get
are the
them.
buzzards.
And so are the buzzards. Oh, what's our secret hashtag of the day?
Oh yeah. Secret hashtag of the day. If you watch this entire stinking video all the way through, because you like us, we
Or
want.
you're just bored.
Or you're bored.
And there's nothing good on
Nothing.
Netflix.
You've already gone through all your favorite shows on Netflix and Amazon and whatever and Prime Video.
And we're it.
And all you got is us. If you watch the whole thing, secret hashtag of the day. Leave that with your comment below, and we'll know you watched the whole thing. Is hashtag tauntaun. Because
I was going to say hashtag no more buzzards.
oh, that's fine. Which one do you want to go with?
Both of them if they want. It's a double.
Ooh,
double.
a double
nugget.
hashtag whammy. See if you're
Yes.
really paying attention. Nice. All right. Those are the hashtags. Hashtag tauntaun. Hashtag
Is it TAUN?
TAUN.
Okay.
What's yours?
No more buzzards.
No more buzzards. That's a long one, but we'll keep it. We'll do it. We're keeping that one in there. Leave those with your comment below. We'll know you watched this whole stinking video. And we will bestow upon you legendary status as a legend. Legend of the Buzzard and Tauntaun.
Stop saying buzzards.
I hope people don't start sending you buzzard stuff like they send me shark stuff.
Oh gosh.
In the
I don't
mail.
think you can find any buzzard stuff, so I'm good.
I bet you there's some stuffed buzzards somewhere.
I doubt it.
Plushies.
I don't think anybody would be that cruel to make a stuffed buzzard.
People make stuffed sharks all the time at Walmart.
Let's
Toy sharks.
not encourage them.